drives it into right center field, hit it Todd. This baby is way back. On here.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Hum Baby Baseball channel. This is Eric, and today we're going to be talking about the 2023 MLB Draft as it pertains to the San Francisco Giants. We're going to go over all 21 draft picks in this year's draft. Very quick scouting report, check out some footage, and just have an idea of who's about to enter into the San Francisco Giants minor league system. Obviously, they may not all sign. Some of them may end up going to college or going back to school, whatever the case, but the vast majority of these guys, if not all, will be signing and entering into the Giants minor league system. So I'm excited to talk about these guys as I do every year. There were a few other players that I really wanted, ended up getting drafted by other teams. Drew Bowser out of Stanford. I think he's going to be a big bat. I really like his bat and his overall playing style and his overall skill set. He got drafted by the Cubs in the 20th round. And my man, Cade Bragg, who I was scouting personally out of Angelo State. This is an awesome pitcher. He's got great stuff. And I was just hoping he would get drafted by anybody, and he did by the Twins. Very nice pick, Twins. And there were a few others, but at the end of the day, I think the Giants did a pretty good job. I have a few things I didn't love about it, and a few picks that I'm not really that excited about. But by and large, I think they did a great job. So let's go ahead and get into it. And we're going to start from the 20th round up. So if you're just interested in the top 5, top 3, feel free to jump forward. But we're going to start with the lower picks and move our way towards the top. Starting in the 20th round, the Giants pick up Nadir Lewis out of Princeton, a great pick for the 20th round. He had some injury issues this year and missed most of the college season. But when he got healthy, he had a .412 batting average in the Woodbat Summer League with 5 home runs. And last year with Princeton, he hit .329 with 5 bombs in 155 at-bats. So over 2 seasons, he's shown he can absolutely rake. And this could be a massive steal, just depending on how he develops in the minors. In the 19th round, the Giants selected Tommy Kane out of Maryland, a left-handed pitcher who came out of the bullpen this year. He had a 7.31 ERA, not pretty at all. But he did strike out 29 and 28.1. He can hit 97 on the radar gun. He has a nice curveball. And this is one of those pitchers, the first of many that we're about to talk about, who haven't put up good numbers, but have the raw stuff. And teams hope that they can coach them up and improve their control and mechanics. And I'll check him out when he gets to San Jose. And I'm not going to get my hopes up for this guy, but he definitely has some nice potential. Moving on to the 18th round, the Giants took Michael the Nightmare Rodriguez out of the Division II North Greenville University in South Carolina. This is one of the best D2 programs in the country, and I love this pick. I'd rather take someone who dominated in a D2 school as opposed to someone with terrible numbers at a D1 school. And Michael Rodriguez is a 6'6" lefty with nasty stuff. He struck out 67 and 40 with a 2.45 ERA, and he'll be a bullpen arm in the Giants system. It's impossible to say how he'll perform against pro hitters until we see it, but I think he'll do okay and make it at least to AAA, and I can't wait to check him out in person. Moving on to the 17th round, we have a catcher, Drew Kavanaugh from Florida Southern, another D2 program, I believe. This is a left-handed hitting catcher with power. He was voted best defensive catcher in his conference for 2 years in a row, and I love this pick as well. Again, no telling how his skill set will transfer to the pros, but he has proven to be a patient hitter who can get on base, work walks, and hit for average with power. Great defense, powerful arm, all the tools that you want in a catcher are there, and it's just a matter of how he hits in the minor leagues. But for his 17th round pick, I love this one, Drew Kavanaugh out of Florida Southern. Next up, we have the 16th round, and the Giants took Justin Wishkoski out of Sam Houston State, who hit .350 over the past 2 seasons with 14 homers and 103 RBIs total. This is a high ceiling, low floor pick. I like the possibilities. He's 6'3". He could develop more power in the minors. He plays solid defense at third base, good speed, and he was definitely drafted for his bat. This is another patient hitter. He can get on base and hit for power. It's just a lot of upside here. Could end up being a Giants regular everyday player, or could fall out of the minor leagues in the next year. So it's just got to wait and see on this guy, but I like the potential. And at 15, the Giants took Dylan Carrouche out of Tulane. He did pitch briefly with Mississippi State in 2021, but transferred to Tulane, maybe so he could pitch more often and be in the rotation. I'm not sure, but he came to Tulane and struck out 102 batters in 90 innings this year, but he gave up 104 hits, and he's been very hittable. He walked 40 batters and had a 5.8 ERA. The Giants like his deceptive delivery and his changeup, but he will have to drastically improve his control and those overall numbers if he's going to progress through the minor leagues. And this is someone the Giants must have had their eye on. I hope he works out, but right now it's potential over numbers. So we'll have to wait and see on Dylan Carrouche. At number 14, it's right-handed pitcher Cale Lansville out of San Jacinto Junior College North in Texas. He's the only player picked from that school this year. It's a school someone you might have heard of it also attended at one point, and that's Brandon Belt before he transferred to Texas. And the Giants have drafted out of the school before. In 2017, Aaron Bond. In 2018, it was Chris Roberts. Neither made it past single A, but Cale Lansville has more promise than either, in my opinion. He has filthy stuff. Previously played for LSU. He's been recruited by Florida State, where he has a chance to play next if he doesn't go pro with the Giants. He hasn't pitched long enough against top competition to be totally confident, but I'm interested to see how his stuff plays in the pros. Decent control, struck out 106 in 74.2 innings, 3.62 ERA, and the talent is there. We'll just see how it translates. But at 13, we have Jose Ortiz out of Leadership Christian Academy in Puerto Rico. This is a guy with insane speed, a rocket for an arm, tons of bat speed, obviously untested against super high-level pitching, so there's no telling for sure, but I love his swing. It's quick, easy, powerful, and with the rest of the tools, it'll be just a matter of how he adjusts over the years, but definitely someone to keep an eye on. This is someone who more than likely will get to San Jose Low A, so we'll check him out in person when that happens, and I'm looking forward to it. But this is a high school kid, so if he ever does make it to the big leagues, it's going to be a while. I mean, we're talking 4 years minimum, so we'll keep an eye on Jose Ortiz. And then at 12, the Giants take Timmy Manning out of Arizona State, who spent his first 2 years at Florida. His stuff is solid, low 90s fastball, changeup, curve. He struck out 108 in 91. Scouts love his high spin rate curveball. Unfortunately, he's also given up 97 hits, struggled to command the zone. His ERA this year was 7.26 in 53.1 innings. So this is another pitcher the Giants coaches are going to work with, try to increase his velocity and improve his control, and hopefully he can get it all together in the minor leagues. But obviously he was not able to do so at the college level. But Tim Manning, a lot of good raw potential, but has not translated to the field at higher levels as of yet. Up next at number 11 is the very hitterish Louisville catcher Jack Payton, who hit .374 this year with 12 home runs. He was expected to be taken much higher in the draft. Payton can hit the ball to all fields with consistency. He has natural power. He has a patient approach. There's a ton of upside offensively, but scouts are concerned about his defense behind the plate and average arm. He might end up changing positions in the pros, but he does have good leadership qualities. He moves around well. It's a nice pick for the 11th round, and the Giants can move him through the system fairly quickly if he performs well. And he could be potentially a future backup to Patrick Bailey, depending, of course, on other things like Joey Bart and other catchers and Payton's own performance. But that's really what Jack Payton is looking like right now. A possible backup catcher at the MLB level, or hey, who knows? If he just tears it up, could be something even better. But at number 10, we have right-handed pitcher Ryan Vanderhey out of TCU, a solid arm drafted out of high school in 2019 by the D-backs. He decided to attend college, first Kansas, then TCU, both in the Big 12. He's 6'6", he has a big arm, but he has been terribly inconsistent. He just hasn't been able to put it all together yet, despite a very nice upper 90s fastball and nasty slider. He's got those basic requirements for being a solid reliever. It's just a matter of developing confidence with all his pitches and working on his control. You've probably heard this before. The Giants took several pitchers this year with horrible college stats, but good raw stuff. And Vanderhey is one of those. He had a 6.75 ERA this year and gave up 44 hits and 25 walks in 42 innings. So Vanderhey, Manning, Carrouche, and Kane all fit in this category. With their 9th pick, the Giants selected graduate student Charlie Zacconi out of the University of Illinois, Chicago, whose baseball team plays in the Division I Missouri Valley Conference. Yeah, he played most of his college career being an absolute offensive machine, hitting almost 400 with the Wisconsin Stout Division III program until graduating and transferring to Illinois Chicago this year, where he hit .335, 16 homers, and an OPS over 1,000. He's more of a free swinger, but he doesn't strike out a ton. He barrels up the baseball with consistency. He uses the entire field. And defensively, Zacconi finished his career with a fielding percentage of .930. He has a very smooth glove, very impressive bat, 6'4", 225. The sky is the limit, or as Michael Jordan would say, the ceiling is the roof for Zacconi. And this is someone to keep a very close eye on in the minor leagues. But let's jump into the 8th round. The Giants took right-handed pitcher Josh Bostick out of Grayson Junior College. I love tapping in to the junior colleges and smaller schools. This is a two-way player, but the Giants are likely going to use him more as a pitcher. He punched out 103 batters in 63 innings. He just dominated the junior college competition. He averaged 15 strikeouts per game. He completed 2 games, and he did pitch against better competition in the Summer Wood Bat League. Struck out 21 and 18, walking 9 with an even 3 ERA. So pretty damn good. His fastball can hit 98. He has decent control of his secondary pitches. And based on the junior college performance, I'll be interested to see how he does against professional hitters. But the upside is tremendous. In the 7th round, the Giants took outfielder Scott Bandura out of Princeton, left-handed pure hitter who hit .363 with 12 bombs this season. He started every game for the Tigers this year and led the team in runs, triples, slugging, steals, total bases, and on-base percentage, and set a Princeton record for total bases. He is 6'4". He has the size and strength to develop more power as he works his way through the minor leagues. Bandura has fantastic speed, excellent range in the outfield, and he made several great plays over at Princeton. So this is a great pick for the 7th round. Bandura has a chance to be an impact player at the higher levels, in my opinion, even if it's just as more of a backup 4th outfielder or even someone from AAA you bring up to replace guys during injuries or whatnot, or even like an Austin Slater type. I ain't saying he's going to be Austin Slater, but he could be an Austin Slater type. Moving into the 6th round, we have another Maryland player, Luke Shliger, who is a catcher. He offers good defense, but his best tool is his bat. He hit .349 last season and .336 this year with some good pop and the ability to take a walk. He limits his strikeouts. He has a simple, repeatable swing. He is a multi-dimensional talent who, despite being just 5'9", has the skill set to stick at catcher in the pros. And he hasn't hit nearly as well in the Wood Bat Summer League, so that's not a good sign, but it's a small sample. So we'll see what he has to offer in the minor leagues. And with their 5th round pick, the Giants took Quinn McDaniel out of Maine, another fantastic hitter who takes a more aggressive approach and is able to generate big power. He's only a couple inches taller than Szliger at 5'11", but he has an explosive bat and hit .354 with 16 bombs this season to go along with a 1,200 OPS. McDaniel's defense is above average, and he's an excellent base runner with plus speed. The pitching in the AEC isn't among the best, so it remains to be seen how McDaniel will handle the high velocity and the nasty stuff of the minor leagues, but there's definitely a lot to like. Moving into the 4th round, the Giants took Maui Ahuna out of Tennessee, who I covered on the Hum Baby Prospects channel. This is a hitting machine. He hit just under 400 last year with Kansas before transferring to Tennessee, where he hit .312 with 8 bombs and 42 RBIs. He's a speedster who plays great defense. He has a plus arm. His bat is compact, quick, and accurate. He regularly hits extra base hits in the gaps and down the lines, and he has some power, but not a ton. I can see him in the big leagues hitting around 270, 280 with power, maybe as a utility guy, maybe as an everyday guy. I'm not as excited about Ahuna as some of the other names as far as upside, but this is definitely a very solid pick. In the 3rd round, we have switch hitter Cole Foster, who has not shown any major weaknesses in his game. He's just overall a fantastic player. He can hit from both sides of the plate with just about an equal amount of skill. He can play almost any position, infield or outfield. He hit .336 for Auburn this year. He crushed 13 bombs and drove in 49. He's just a strong all-around player. Hasn't blown scouts away with any one particular tool. He's just above average at everything. So certainly excellent with the bat. And we'll see. I mean, he can hit, and this is just an overall solid guy to keep an eye on. as he moves through the minor leagues. But third round pick, Cole Foster. And moving into the second round, the Giants did get a bonus pick thanks to losing Carlos Rodon, who obviously signed with the Yankees, turning down the qualifying offer. So the Giants got an extra pick. And with this pick, the Giants took Joe Whitman out of Kent State, a powerful 6'4" lefty. He went 9-2 this year with a 2.56 ERA while striking out 181. So actual awesome stats, which I actually like. Someone who can get it done at the Division I level gives me confidence that he can also get it done in the minors and maybe someday in the majors. His fastball can touch the high 90s. He has a deadly slurve that's very tough to touch, and that's the pitch that has scouts excited. Most scouts project him as a future bullpen arm, but anything is possible with Whitman. He has the stuff and size and stamina to be a starter as well. So definitely someone to keep an eye on. Joe Whitman. Do not forget that name. I think this guy has a really good chance to someday wear a San Francisco Giants uniform in the regular season, not just spring training. But the Giants' primary second round pick was shortstop Walker Martin, who many mock drafts had going to the Giants in the first round. So this is a high school kid with all the tools, and especially he's an athlete. He's also the starting quarterback for the football team. His duties as the star football player caused him to miss a whole bunch of baseball showcases. So his talent went a little bit under the radar until he showed up at the area code games last summer and impressed everyone there, immediately jumping into first round consideration. He's a left-handed hitter, very quick hands, big pop. And at 6'2", this is a young player who should continue to grow strength and power as he develops through the minors. It could be a long wait for Martin, but the Giants will likely give him every opportunity to eventually make it to the big leagues. Whether it's as a fringe prospect or all-star contender remains to be seen, but his talent is through the roof. So Walker Martin, very excited about this pick. Love it. He is the second round pick for the Giants. But in the first round, the Giants got the guy I was wanting. When it got to 16, I was like, please take this dude. I know not everyone's super excited about it. It is another two-way player, but it was one of the top names on most draft boards. Bryce Eldridge, high school player. And obviously, two-way players don't always work out. Maybe some of y'all remember the 6'4" phenom Brooks Kieschnick, who did make it to the majors and had some success, both as a pitcher and hitter, but never became the superstar that he was supposed to. Eldridge is even taller at 6'7". He has absolutely filthy stuff as a pitcher. Offensively, he has an amazingly quick stroke. The ball flies off his bat with incredible exit velocity. He is untested against elite pitching, but this, like Reggie Crawford last year, is a player who has two paths to the big leagues. He could become the next Shohei Ohtani, but as a Giants fan, I'll be happy if he just turns into a great hitter or a great pitcher, either or. So his size, skill set, and personality also look very promising, and I can't wait to see him play at San Jose probably next year. I'll definitely have some footage when I do for the channel, but the first round pick, Bryce Eldridge, super exciting. This dude is just has it all, and is just an amazing athlete. He's so strong, so quick, and I can't wait to see how he progresses through the minor leagues. And overall, I like their draft. I don't love it. I don't love some of the pitchers with terrible stats. I don't mind taking a couple of them. You really like their stuff and you see something, you think the coaches can work with them. But just to me, like, if you can't get it done, if you got a 7, 8, 9 ERA in college, it just doesn't bode well for my confidence going into the minor leagues. I'd rather take guys at smaller schools. I don't care if it's a junior college, Division II. I'd rather take guys from there who have actually dominated and actually have not walked a bunch of people, because you know already they have great control, and the potential could be, you never know. I know they haven't faced high competition, but at least they dominate where they are. So just me personally, but obviously I don't know. I'm not saying that I know more than the Giants scouting department and all their analytical team and all that. They do what they do, and they do a great job. So we'll have to wait and see how these guys turn out. Overall, I'm pretty happy with the draft. Really, I mean, there's so many players out there, hundreds and hundreds of thousands, actually, thousands of players to choose from, and we'll see how this one works out. This is a big draft for Farhan Zaidi. In 2-3 years, if he's still here and these guys are all not working out, that's going to be a really bad sign for him. It's going to be like, okay, dude, I mean, you've had more than enough time. So this is a big draft for him, and we'll see how it goes, but I'm pretty excited about it. I like it overall. I mean, don't love it. Give it a nice solid B+, but let me know what you guys think of the 2023 MLB Draft for the San Francisco Giants. Thank you guys for checking out this video and checking out all these super interesting prospects. Lots of cool names, lots of guys I can't wait to see, and we will be having video footage on almost all these guys as they progress through the minor leagues, especially when they stop through San Jose and Sacramento. So you guys have a great day. Hit the thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and we'll talk to you in the next video.